What is going on, everybody? We're back. It's Saturday. It's 7 o'clock. Here to talk about so many things. A couple of the things I have on the agenda today in the description was because Destiny was going to be here, but she's in Georgia and their power is out and they're experiencing a storm. But Freakier Friday and Lilo and Stitch, we'll try to talk about it the best we can. How's everybody doing today?
Doing well, man.
Good.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Peter. Always good to see you.
Where's your hat?
Where's your hat?
Yeah.
That's a nice head of hair. That's a good hat.
I actually thought about that. I was like, I'm freshly showered. I ought to mix it up. Show 'em that it's still all there.
Nah, don't mess with it. That's perfection right there. That's
Yeah, this is the Three Hats podcast now, Peter. I forgot to give you the memo. We changed the name.
Be a sweet sponsorship coming our way someday.
So I did right. You got 3 hats. We're good.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, never mind. I'm
counted for you. We got the quota.
The rules.
Yeah.
So, guys, lots to talk about. Did everybody catch Daredevil yet?
Nope.
Won't get into spoilers.
You mean the latest episode?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say it is nice to see Matt Murdock, the lawyer, be a lawyer for an entire episode. That's fantastic. I really loved episode 3. It's my favorite of the series so far. And the ending, it's not who you think it is. That's all I'm going to say. But it was really good. If you're not watching Daredevil Born Again, go and watch it.
The Matlock fan in you was satisfied?
Oh, Matlock fan in me was so happy, Justin. I can't wait to talk about it in depth tomorrow on The Big Bench with Jason and Jamie. Which would be a lot of fun.
I have not watched any of the new Daredevil yet. I love Charlie Cox. And I think he's great. But I don't know. I saw the other redo that they have the same cast. I'm like, I don't know enough about it, but I'm like, I feel like I love with D'Onofrio, but I feel like I saw enough of him in the last iteration. But maybe I'm wrong. The reviews tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's fun so far. Actually, it's not really, I wouldn't say fun. It's sad, but it's still really good so far.
Good TV.
Good TV. It's good TV. But okay, so the Freakier Friday trailer dropped. I watched it. I posted a reaction, and I'm surprised that I think body swap movies are icky, especially when they're relatives body swapping. And but that being said, I did like the original Freaky Friday, and Freakier Friday looks like more of the same in a good way. I like Jamie Lee Curtis, and I really like Lindsay Lohan. It's nice to see Lindsay Lohan on the other side of her troubles, and I'm rooting for Lindsay Lohan's comeback. And this trailer just gave us that. It's the same thing. It's happening again. They even do the running into each other gag again. But it was fun. It was charming. There's a lot of people out there that are going to be very happy that Freakier Friday is happening. Come on, Justin. I know
cool.
I literally, I'm okay with this. Like, I'm not a big one way or the other fan with this. It's all good. I'm glad she has worked. Good. Yeah.
Never watched the first one.
Oh,
First
no?
one is
I haven't seen the first one. It is
classic.
It is good. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not the first one, the Lindsay Lohan first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited for a sequel, Peter?
I am. I have not watched the trailer. I don't know. Something in me these days is a little nervous about watching trailers because they give away so much. But I saw your post on mute, and that I'm into it if I press unmute on something because I just usually move, don't want to hear anything. But I pressed unmute and I saw like one line. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait. But then I didn't watch it.
That's fair. And then the Lilo and Stitch trailer, which we were going to talk about with Destiny because she's a big fan. I've not seen Lilo and Stitch. The trailer looks cool for a live action Disney animated movie. We'll see what happens. Just wanted to check those boxes real quick. What's everybody watching so far this week? Anything good?
I finished Invincible for the season. I think the season's over.
Yeah, I've been following that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was solid.
Yeah. I know kind of what happens. I'm up to speed with the comic books, so I kind of knew when Conquest showed up what was going to happen. But
right,
pretty dope, pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Didn't go all out this season, so I keep watching The Pit. So
nice. How far are you?
I mean, I keep up with it weekly. I think they got 15 episodes, and they just released episode 11. So
Is it classic procedural doctor show, but just
well, what it is, it's basically you just go hour by hour in the ER. Like episode 1's hour 1, episode 2's hour 2, and
so it's like 24. It's like Jack Bauer in the ER.
Kind of like that, yeah, but with ER, yeah. And
Jack Bauer saves lives.
Mm-hmm. Or tries to, anyways, because man, a lot can happen in 15-hour shift apparently.
That's true.
Yeah, so
it is true. It is true.
Yeah, but it's intense. It's intense, but really well written. It's on Max, so it's it's more graphic probably than your regular like network medical shows. So they're like this, not spoiling anything, but like this past episode, there was you watch like a birth, like, and they don't hide away that it's a birth with a baby coming out. So
I'm gonna pass on that one. When I was a kid, ER was on, and that's like classic network. I was like, oh no, there's needles. I know there's needles in that room.
Yeah, that stuff get the if ever there's like like not even just like a medical show. If you do like an artsy kind of close up of a needle going into a vein, I'll be like, no. Like,
do you guys remember Emergency 911 where they had like the actual phone calls of like 911 calls and stuff? I think it was right, like, or it was like the reenactment of actual like 911 calls.
I mean,
there was an episode where one of the kids went down an escalator and got their they had their shoes untied and like started pulling their leg into the thing. Like, it was horrifying. As a kid, I was like, I am being very careful. Even as an adult, I think about escalators and getting crap, like loose stuff, getting caught into that thing. But that episode really sunk home to me.
If they reenact 911 calls, do the people who called 911 originally get residuals?
I hope so.
Legality of
that. You'd hope so.
I don't know how that works. I forget. I just remember I'm pretty sure it was 911 calls that they were reenacting, but I could be wrong. Either way, there was an episode where a kid has her leg pulled into the escalator, and it was awful. It was not great.
Mallrats. They need to watch Mallrats. They would have known to avoid that.
Yeah,
that's true.
True.
Or just use the stairs. What have you been watching, buddy?
Just FYI, in terms of Mallrats, I do own a Volkswagen, so every time I get into my Volkswagen, I think about Mallrats. That said, I watched a couple movies this week. Nothing. One movie that hasn't come out yet. I think it was just at South by Southwest, called The Baltimoreans. And when it comes out, check it out. It's hilarious. It's touching. It made me cry. It made me laugh. It's by I'm forgetting the Indie King's brother. J. Duplass directed it, and Michael Strassner was co-writer and star, and it was phenomenal. But this week, I watched 2 dramas set in Philly, as if Philly isn't dark and sad enough just existing as it is. As you can tell, I'm not a fan. But I watched Long Bright River, the pilot for that one, on Peacock. There was nothing bright about it, but it was definitely long. And then I watched the first episode of Dope Thief on Apple, which was visually darker, but tonally lighter and funnier. And if I were to recommend one of them, it would definitely be Dope Thief. Like, the writing was on point. Like, it was clever, it was smart, it was fast, tropey, but great. And then I'm halfway through because I had a little bit of a headache today. I kind of gave up on the day, and I watched the first hour of The Electric State.
That's the Netflix one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How is it so far?
I don't want to write a review halfway through, but and I looked at the reviews, and then I saw some article that was like, oh, the reviews are all wrong. Viewers love it. I will say that there's some fun tonal stuff, and I love
hated it.
I'm going to finish it. I've turned things off. I'm not turning it off. I want to see where the $320 million went.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Is like it's super, super expensive. Like one of the most expensive films so far to be made.
When I saw $320 million, I'm like, what?
Do you see it on the screen at least?
I mean, I don't know. Everything is like CGI, so I guess you see it like, but I'm not like, oh wow, that's so cool, and I'm just kind of like, I'm also just picking it apart. Like, they could have worked on that story.
Yeah,
but you're just the guy behind the camera lighting $100 bills on fire.
That's how they're lighting it. Actually, that's.
It
is natural lighting.
I just pulled up the cast for that, and Kurt Loder is in that movie. Does anybody remember Kurt Loder
from MTV?
Yeah. He was their news guy that would pop in at the 10 to the hour every hour. But it's
it's set in like an alternative 90s.
Oh,
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
But it's got Ki-Hu Kwan, Woody Harrelson, Millie Bobby Brown, and Chris Pratt. I think I was planning on watching it tonight, actually, because I like Millie Bobby Brown for the most part, what she's done on Netflix. So
I like the Enola Holmes movies. Those are the first one, at least, was very entertaining. And Stranger Things, I'm on board fully.
I like the dragon movie she did. I can't remember what it's called though.
Damsel.
Damsel. Yeah.
Sorry, not a fan of that one. But
didn't see it.
I like the Enola Holmes. Enola Holmes was good. Yeah.
I will finish the movie and then trash it. No, I would never trash it.
Judging by your face, you're going to trash it, at least off camera.
You can be critical of it. You can critique it.
I just want to see it at its best, like.
I plan on watching Severance. I mean, I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm way behind the normal populace in watching it. But I plan on.
Was that season 2 now?
I'm only on season 1, but I think there's a second season out.
Oh, okay.
I'm just starting it. Like I'm just starting the whole show.
Season 1 is insane. It's so good, but I have not watched season 2. I was waiting to be able to binge it, and now I'm able to binge it. But I'm like, oh shoot, I'm so far behind.
Which show?
Severance.
Oh, it's good.
It's good, and I'm watching White Lotus. But I'm one behind on White Lotus, so
I need to catch up on White Lotus. I might do that tomorrow before we do our show, if we do it still.
I didn't realize we were talking about movies too. I caught up on some 2024 stuff. I watched Heretic and Presence.
I heard Heretic was good.
It's interesting. It's fun. Hugh Grant is basically every explain bro atheist ever, but he does it in a very entertaining way. And anyone who can drop Jar Jar Binks into conversation menacingly, like, sure, go for it. I like Presence a lot too. That was interesting. It's the movie Soderbergh did where it's shot from the ghost POV.
Right. But it's not scary, right? It's like a scary movie. It's not scary.
No, there are some scary moments, but it's definitely more about it's definitely more of a drama and a little bit of a mystery to it, because they try to lay out like kind of sort of rules for the presence, as it were, and how it interacts with the world and the people in the house and things like that. And I'll admit, like the kind of twist, there is sort of a twist at the end, and I thought it worked, and it worked because, oh wow, there were actually things laid out in the story that led up to it, and mainly Lucy Liu's performance, because Lucy Liu's in it, and is really, really good. The whole cast is really good in my opinion. So
I started. What show did I watch yesterday? I had to write that show down. You just mentioned, Mike, because I want to watch that movie. I watched Running Point this week. We're going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow, but that was pretty good with Kate Hudson. I was really surprised. It's kind of like Severance meets Ted Lasso, and it's a bunch of rich assholes. A bunch of rich assholes whose father dies. She inherits his basketball team, and they find out they have a long lost brother. The long lost brother steals the show for me. He is super funny. That actor, I'm pulling up his name right now because he is really funny. Because he's so innocent and so he loves everybody. He's Fabrizio Guido. And he's really the standout of that show. I like Kate Hudson. I'm a sucker for what she does. It's got Brenda Strong in it as well.
Chet Hanks is in this?
Yeah.
Chet Hanks.
He plays one of the basketball players on the team who also is a rapper. I didn't know it was him until later, and then I saw it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Does he drop White Boy Summer in there at any point?
I don't think so.
He was trying to make that.
It might be White Boy Summer. I don't know.
He was trying to make that a thing a couple years back.
So, guys, I got the deck of questions again.
Ugh.
Every time I pull this out for certain guests, and then they're not here, so we're just gonna do it ourselves.
Just Justin's pure. Ugh.
Every time I go sad.
But yeah, I got this. Let me pull this. Oh, I forgot to talk about it. We got the trailer for Spinal Tap 2, which is really just an amp turning it up to 11, and then this is Spinal Tap
Infinity
2.
though, right?
Maybe you're right.
I was like, I think it went to infinity this time. I can't remember.
I need to watch the first Spinal Tap. I'm gonna fix that and do that.
You haven't seen it
before September, but those that have seen it, are you guys excited for this?
Man.
I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Yeah, it's like it would be outside of their realm of like when it was relevant to make a sequel. But that's fine. I mean, it's known. It's a known commodity.
Part of me is that whole like the first movie is fine on its own. Like this doesn't warrant a sequel or need a sequel. However, I do like that whole Christopher Guest crew of people. They are funny people. So I am curious,
but yeah, I mean, like it's one of those movies that just, I don't know. I mean, Dumb and Dumber, and the sequels that come 20 years later, and you're like,
why?
Like Zoolander, like
Zoolander.
Just leave it.
Yep.
Why? I mean, I get the whole like make more money and have something fun that we didn't do 20 years ago, but also there's something in the untainted beauty.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I concur. It's like there better be a good reason outside of just like everyone gets paid.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
I mean, it's a good reason, but in that case, it's like just make another like Christopher Guest documentary movie, like making another original thing that can become its new classic.
Or don't call it Spinal Tap and don't tell anybody, and then suddenly everyone's saying
it's Spinal Tap. Yeah.
Surprise Spinal Tap.
Yeah, cranial tap.
Yeah, there's stuff you can do with a aged out rock band, so we'll see. I guess Elton John is in it as well.
He's always fun. I loved him in what was those movies? He was in the second one, I think.
Kingsman.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he was a lot of fun in those.
All right, guys. Question number 1. This is gonna really sell it to Justin. You ready, Justin? We're just starting right where we left off. Where is the worst place you've ever vomited? I will go first. Philip took me to Vegas, and Long Island iced teas are free if you're playing slot machines. I had 27 of them. So we're sleeping. I hear a noise in the bathroom. Philip comes out and he starts screaming at me like, you couldn't have thrown up in the toilet. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, the trash can is full of vomit and it's all over the floor. So I thought the toilet was the trash can.
I totally misheard you. I thought you were asking, what's a workplace where you vomited? And I'm like,
well, I mean, if you got one of those.
Was that not the question? Wait, what was it?
Where's the worst place?
The worst place.
Oh, I was coming up the long list of the workplaces.
Yeah.
When it was a Subway and when it was the Dairy Queen. Oh man, I can't think offhand the worst place. I think the most entertaining throw up I've ever had was my 21st birthday. My friends and I went out and drinking, and my friends, being my friends, were also drunk, and like they tried to be like, "Hey, let's help Justin get back to his bedroom." So they threw me in my room, made sure I got in bed. My buddy Wes was like, "Hey, let's make sure Justin throws up because he'll feel better." So he just started shaking me to the point where eventually I just threw up. They caught him in a bucket, and I heard him say, "Oh, I've got it on my hand," and I passed out. That was like the string of events of me throwing up. It was a good memory. He was a good friend.
Sounds like it.
He's a good friend. He's a good dude.
Sounds fantastic.
We also got vomit on him. Yeah, it was fun. I don't know. What about you two? Any weird places you threw up or fun places?
Not like worst place, but it certainly was awkward and memorable, I guess. It was just outside the front yard of a friend's house party back in college. I think Katie was actually there for that party. But yeah, no, I just had a lot to drink. And then there were these giant, like, hedge shrubs around the house and stuff. And instead of just like disappearing into the woods or anything like that, I was just like, excuse me a second, just turned around, Blair Witched everybody and went into the shrubs, and then just turned back around like, okay, where were we? That was it.
Kept going. Just kept going.
I didn't keep drinking. I was like, I think I'm done for the night, but I wasn't like,
yeah, there's a level of drunk when you throw up, you feel immediately better. You're like, all right. Well,
yeah, I was just matter of fact, like, hey, what were we talking about?
What do they call it? Boot and reboot?
Yeah. It was a hard reset, a hard reboot.
But you, Peter?
I don't know if this is the worst because there's been a lot of bad, but I think one of my most embarrassing was probably I was 17. I think it was March Madness, right around this time, and I was going to watch like Jayhawks. My buddy Bradford Hollingsworth was a big Jayhawk fan, so we'd go around to bars in New York, 17, and drink and watch sports. And he had some girl with him one night, and I remember we were going from like bar to bar, and I was intoxicated, and we were in a cab, and he and his girl were next to me in the back of the cab. And at one point we were almost at our destination, and I just turned and I leaned a little bit, and I don't even know how, and I just threw up all over the back of her coat, and like in between the seat and her coat. And somehow, because we were pulling up to our destination, no one noticed. So I jump out, and we all get out. We get in the cab, and I'm like, oh my God, I think there was like throw up in that cab. It's on your coat. All right, I gotta go. Bye. And I started running down the street, and I thought, I was like, yes, nailed it, covered it.
Totally passed the buck.
And at one point, Bradford texted me, I think he said, nicely done. You can pay for her dry cleaner. Not
so as I thought. She knew it was you though, then, right?
They didn't know in the moment.
In the moment,
okay. It happened that when I said goodbye, they're like, "Oh, okay, bye."
By you sprinting away was a tell.
Okay, it was the sprinting away. Okay, it would have been great though if like all this time though, never suspected a thing. I just thought he wanted to pay for the dry cleaning. I just thought he was being a nice guy.
Yeah,
it was your turn to pay for the dry cleaning, right? Yeah, you never knew.
Taxi cab's like, no one pays for my back seat.
Oh yeah, no one paid for that. And now I feel guilty. Oy. At least it wasn't an Uber because they didn't exist. So I couldn't get a bad rating. They had no idea what it was.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. It's a normal Saturday night for some folks.
Or Tuesday.
Justin, what is the worst thing you've ever done to scare somebody?
Scare? Worst thing. Both times probably were my father. I'll tell you two stories, so they're both pretty funny. My dad, he spooks easy. So he was sleeping one day while he fell asleep watching a movie. I had this kind of realistic werewolf mask. So I put it on and I just screamed and I jumped out, and he almost, like, my dad never hit me, but I almost caught one from him because he got so scared that I was in a werewolf mask. And it was pretty funny. It was pretty dope. The second time was my buddy Jared brought a fog machine over to my house, unbeknownst to my father, and I have a basement in my parents' house, so we were hanging out down there, and we were just pumping smoke up the stairwell, making him think the house was on fire. I would imagine that probably freaked him out pretty good because he was like, "What the?" I heard like a lot of stomping of feet. It was pretty dope. Sorry, Dad. Love you. But no, it was all my father. I go out of my way to scare him.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Okay, so this is also in college, I think. I lived in a house with 4 other dudes my junior year, and we had this cutout, stand up of Elvira. And what we would do is like not tell anyone. We would move her around the house to different places because this was, an older house that had a lot of like sharp corners and alcoves that could blend into the wall and stuff. And I do remember like there was an alcove actually in the bathroom. Like you come in, it's a narrow kind of entranceway. The sink's here, the shower's here, the alcove's right here, and then the alcove with the toilets there. So I knew if I placed Elvira in the alcove there, across from the toilet. No one would see her coming in. And I put her there one day and completely forgot, honestly, until later that night when I hear one of my roommates or housemates go into the restroom. And you hear the scream bloody murder. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. She's like staring at him probably while he's taking a dump or something.
It helped probably the movement.
It probably helped. Sure. Yeah. And so I'm like, that's the only way he could have probably seen her is like if he just like sat down and looked straight up and it's like she's staring at him from across the way. Because Elvira's got them piercing eyes. So
it's true. Yes. As you think about when you think about Elvira.
But yeah, I think that's probably the worst I've ever scared anybody.
I know Peter's got a good story. I can see it on his face.
It's funny. I'm terrified of everything. I don't like, I can barely, I'm scared all the time. So I don't really even watch scary movies if I can help it. And if I do, I watch them during the day with the light on, and, cause life is scary. It wasn't so much the worst scare, but it was the worst attempt at a scare, perhaps. It was the blackout in New York of like 2003 or whatever it was, where the whole city went dark and it was crazy. And, my friends couldn't get home, so they came to stay at my house. I was interning somewhere. And so like, they were adults, I was like 16, 17, and they were in their 20s. And we all came back to my place, hung out with my folks for a little bit, and then it got dark out, and we're like, let's go, roam the neighborhood. It's weird, it's dark, and we're like, oh, let's scare some people, like a bunch of idiots do. And so Cody hid behind this car, and we see these two guys approaching, and they've got this little cute dog, and we're like, all right, we're gonna scare the shit out of them. And Cody just jumps out in front of the car. He's like, ah! And they just really, buddy, really,
like, so disaffected,
just shamed him, and he's just like, yeah, and he just ran away. Once again, the running away, running away, and I was just so embarrassed because I think they lived on my block too.
Oh,
you knew him? Oh no!
Like, I mean, I don't know if they noticed me, but we got past it, I guess.
They see the next day.
That was just the stat. Like, we had all of the ammo, we had the dark New York City streets, and just failure.
It's funny you mentioned that because it immediately kickstarted a memory of like when you're in like a very darkened area, and you want to make the most of the situation and try to like, frighten some people at random. Because actually, I want to withdraw my story and add this one is because it just hit me when you were talking about the blackout. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's right, like total darkness. I went to school in a hilly area and stuff like that, and so we had these former like asylums up on the hill, like they were half torn down and stuff from like the 70s, and so my roommates and I would like sneak in there and just kind of hang out. It was a kind of just cool historical eerie thing to do. But there was like a small music hall across the way from it where they would have drum circles. People would go up there for like drum circles on like a Thursday night. And so we saw everyone coming out of the drum circle to get to their cars in the parking lot across from like the windowed area. And they're like, they can't see in here. So we just started banging on the glass inside the asylum. And you see people like out there like stop like. And then we started banging again more vehemently. Some people ran. Some people had like a flashlight on. They're just like, like. But you reminded me of that. That is a mixture of like actual terror and jaded kind of. Okay, whatever.
That's awesome.
So mine is I have kids. When they were younger, I took a portable speaker, one of the Bluetooth speakers. I hid it under the couch because they were having a sleepover in the living room. We turned the lights out so they could watch TV, super quiet. I go up in my room, I pull up creepy clown sounds and crank the volume all the way up. So you just hear screaming, like blood curling screaming coming from the downstairs. It was great. Fantastic. And then I orchestrated this. I didn't do it, but our friend Rondell, who's been on this show, I asked him to come over because we were watching Insidious with the kids. And Rondell puts on the scary mask that he has, and he starts banging on the back windows, and the kids start. Oh, it's great. It was great because he did it at the perfect time. Like something hit in the movie at the same time he's banging on a glass. It was so good. And then he got in trouble from his wife because he's a black man in a white neighborhood, scaring a bunch of white kids through backyards. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Helping Jason."
Do me a favor.
I didn't even think about it.
It's a 4DX experience.
All right, Mike, what's the stupidest dream you've ever had?
Oh man, you got me. Oh man. Oh wow, that's actually a tough one because I kind of sort of remember some awesome dreams, but then I always kind of discard the stupid ones.
Right? And the stupid ones are really stupid.
I don't know of any dreams, but apparently this is according to my folks. Like when I was little, I would like sleepwalk, and so apparently like not only sleepwalk but act out scenarios. And so I guess apparently when I was like 4 or 5, my mom heard me crying in the hallway, and I was just like on my knees just like crying. I'm like, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm asleep, so I don't recall this, but I'm like, "I can't find it. And she's like, "Can't find what?" She's like, "I can't find my shadow. I lost my shadow." And apparently after she was just like hugged me, and she was like, "Oh, it's okay," and then put me back to bed. And she's like, "Do you remember anything from last night?" I'm like, "No, what?" She's like, "You were sleepwalking and you're crying that you couldn't find your shadow." I'm like, "Oh, neat." Kind of dumb, I guess, but that's all I got.
Nice. What about you, Peter?
Do you mean goals, hopes, and dreams? Because I got a long list of those.
No, it doesn't specify.
Yeah, have fun. Flip the format. It's like, yeah.
No, I don't remember my dreams. I mean, I'll remember them maybe like the morning of, maybe, or maybe I'll like one will come back to me very randomly in deja vu. But most of them I don't remember. I mean, these days I think most of my dreams are just anxiety. You know, like just versions of the anxiety that I feel during the day, heightened and intensified. So right now it's probably all about my dog and her issues. Plus she snores a lot, so she just infiltrates my dreams. I guess the dumbest dream is that I could fly. Like, what an idiot, right?
I have that dream a lot.
Like
I do that all the time. It's
actually fantastic. The flying was cool. I remember when I like really had it figured out. I was like, no, I got this now.
Yeah.
I've mastered it. And there was no like falling part of it. It was like, no, I can legit fly. Badass. I've
never recalled having flying dreams, but definitely like Matrix leaping dreams, like where you leap and then you but then you like, you just kind of slow down time and you're just like in the midst of a big leap and everything like that. Like
I have a recurring dream where I can double jump and fly, and it's fantastic. Max is like, "Why can you do that and I can't?" I'm like, "Well, go buy the shoes. I got the shoes. Why don't you get the shoes?" But stupid dream. I don't know that I have a stupid dream. I have a reoccurring dream where I'm fighting Godzilla with Max, and then I'm trying to run away, and I stop being able to run, and I just like stand there, but I'm trying to run. That's pretty much all I can really remember, because it happens like every month. I have that same Godzilla dream. I don't know exactly what it means in life, but
means you probably left Godzilla on in the other room.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Have you ever gone streaking? If so, where? I'm just gonna throw that out there because only the person who's done it can say. I have not either.
I have kind of. Not, I mean, like. Streaking is in like everybody like dropped their skivvies and jumped in the pool at the same time. Does that count?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, then I did that. Again, college. So.
I was supposed to with Max, not Max, sorry, Fuzzy, Cam, and Mike. But I was sick that day, and they went streaking across OSU campus and jumped into Mirror Lake.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember, man, if I faked it or not. I probably did fake being sick because that's something I would do, because streaking is not something I want to do. But I'd probably do it now. But back then, I was a little bit more serious than I am now. But
does it count as streaking if you just – doesn't there have to be like a distance to streak? You think you have to go
full
running around
like go streak around the quad or whatever? Like
that's what I just think about Will Ferrell. Yes, and I think about what streak, but that maybe there are no rules.
I mean, we ran to the pool, JoJo. which was dangerous. We were running at the pool, not good, and we were naked.
Not good. Not good. I agree. Not good.
Nothing, Justin? No streaking?
0 streaking in my life. Happy to say I'm not adventurous in that regard.
And Peter, no streaking at all then?
Surprisingly, no.
Well, okay.
Surprisingly, no. Surprisingly, no.
All right, last question, and I'll put this away. What were you scared by as a kid that seems stupid now? And that is Ernest Scared Stupid. That is something that scared me as a child, and it is silly to be scared by an Ernest movie.
Dude, I've been scared a lot of kids. What are you talking about? That movie got a lot of
kids. Still silly to be scared by an Ernest movie.
Those trolls are gross looking. And being milked.
They were the killer clowns from outer space. They were leftovers from that, the prop department.
Oh, really? That's fun.
Just repainted, yeah.
I think the list is too long.
I think mine's arachnophobia. Sorry, Peter. I'm talk over
you were afraid of the movie, or you were afraid of spiders?
No, the movie, because it was a comedy. I'm pretty sure it was a comedy, but like there was a scene in that where like a spider crawls out of the person's nose, and I don't know, for that reason that scene stuck with me to this day. How freaked out I was for like killer spiders, because like I live in the Midwest. There's like outside of a random occurrence of a brown recluse, or if you're really unlucky with a black widow, you're not dying from a spider in the Midwest. Like, but either way, it freaked me out.
I have black widows right out there. I never had them before. And this year, all of a sudden, I have a bunch. They live in the palm tree, and they just kind of come down and scare me. But I have like a PTSD over E.T. I was obsessed with E.T. for like years. I was like, I don't know if it was years in my child brain. It was years, but I watched it all the time. Like I had the VHS. My parents got me like the E.T. doll. I was obsessed with E.T.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what shifted, but one day I'm watching, and maybe this is where all my doctor shit comes from. I don't know, but I'm watching, and there's the tent, and there's like the breathing thing, and he like can't breathe or whatever. And this is all, I haven't seen it in literally 30 years because I have so much trauma from it. And I remember melting the fuck down, like crying, screaming, get it away. Like my parents had to take the doll. And then one day, like I opened the closet and the doll was up there, and fucking E.T.'s there. I still think of E.T. as a horror movie now. I don't know what happened, but him almost dying fucked me up for life.
Tying this back into dreams, I had a nightmare. I remember this distinctly. I had a nightmare as a little kid where I was being chased through the field by E.T. And it wasn't like little waddling E.T. It was like he had springs for feet E.T. and it was terrifying.
Did he like be in a basket on a bike just trying to follow you with his finger? Just like...
I want to say like a legit anxiety-inducing fear I had when I was younger that I don't have anymore. House centipedes used to freak me out a lot.
Those are creepy, for sure.
They are creepy, but when I was little, I would lose my shit if I saw one of those things. Nowadays, like, because they're part of everyday households, and actually they're pretty useful in dealing with other pests, I guess.
Yeah, they're benign for us.
Yeah, they're pretty benign. But nowadays, whenever I see one, usually this summer, because they'll want to come in where it's cool, obviously, like I'm just more like, oh, you're gonna be a nuisance if I try to swatch it, because then half of you is gonna break off and scuttle away. I'm just like, not going to deal with that headache today. Go on, be free, little guy.
To go back to E.T., I also liked the movie when I was young. And then there was a point where I'm just like, why am I watching this? Because every time I watch this movie, I cry. Like, I'm 4 and 5 years old. I should not be crying every time I watch a movie. Because that movie is depressing. It is so depressing. So, I haven't seen it.
I still cry at the end of it.
Either.
I won't watch. I have not watched it in got to be over 30 years, maybe 33 years or something like that. I could not
just
like done.
Runs deep, man.
Even Spielberg needs to pay for my therapy.
That's awesome.
So, Mike, what's going on your channel? What's coming up?
Oh, well,
You just posted something.
yeah, I just posted something like literally 2 hours ago, I think. Yeah, I'm just filming. I don't know. I'm just in a mood to constantly be filming every weekend something, whether it's a short film, whether it's a longer thing, a documentary, my thoughts on the world or movies. I'm just doing that. This morning I went out to the lake and filmed some mist. And that was my day. But it was a relaxing way to spend the day. So that's
nice. I thought maybe we could get together and film some first-time reactions to some music that we've never heard.
Oh my God.
Free bird.
And I'll do this face the whole time. I'll be like,
It'll kill on YouTube.
yeah, it'll do numbers like you wouldn't believe on YouTube because people eat that up. I watched Captain America too this afternoon while I was editing the new one. Brace yourself.
I'm surprised you did.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Brace yourselves. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's fine. The thing that really saved that movie for me was Harrison Ford showing up.
Dude, here's what I did take away from the movie is I want now just a drama / comedy where Harrison Ford, Carl Lumbly, and Tim Blake Nelson are on a road trip and they're all just being grumpy sourpusses at each other for the whole movie. Like that's all I want.
Just Grumpy Old Men 3.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'd definitely watch that. Tim Blake Nelson, circle back, blackout story.
Oh,
I think I had seen him that day because I was interning at a casting office and he was directing a movie and he gave me advice. Well, he liked to sit down and give advice and it all comes together. See?
I love that.
Full circle.
Serendipity. That's
I don't
awesome.
know if I took his advice. Maybe I would have been more successful.
You will be, man. You will be. You're still young. We're going to get you writing on a Netflix show. I got a particular show in mind for season 3 that we need to get you on, which that was really good, man. Thank you for the recommendation. I ate it up.
I love it. It's silly. It's fun.
Yeah. Kristen
Hot
Bell.
Rabbi.
So is Adam Brody. But guys, follow us at 3 Geeks Podcast. Go to 3geekspodcast.com. Lots of fun stuff coming your way. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
See you.
Recycle your droids.
Nailed it.